Hey everybody, welcome back. So I'm always looking to try out new camping and prepping foods. Found this one on Amazon and I decided to give it a try. This is the Wayfayrer pasta and meatballs ready camping food. Alright everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. This is a company out of the UK. This is Wayfayrer. Had never heard of them before. So I decided to give it a try. They've been making these kind of meals for 40 years, according to their website. So something like this is handy for, of course, camping. But even tossing in your emergency kit, if you keep like an emergency kit at work, maybe in a desk drawer somewhere. Could work for a bug-out bag, and it's kind of handy because it's not dehydrated, so you can eat it whenever you want, even if it's not heated up. But remember, non-dehydrated food's going to be a little bit heavier than freeze-dried. So if weight's an issue, maybe you don't want to carry 30 or 40 of these things, they're kind of heavy. So this is sealed in an individual foil pouch, 300 grams. It's ready to eat straight from the pouch, like I told you before. And the pouch contains, in this one, beef meatballs and Italian-style tomato sauce with pasta. It's real food, ready to eat, ready to go, no problems. The shelf life on them is 3 years from the date of manufacture. You could use these things for your emergency gear, your car kit, if you don't live in an area that gets as hot as this area does. And you just store it in an unopened, dry pouch, in a fairly cool environment. You don't want these things to get too ridiculously hot, but they are similar to MRE entrees. If you've ever had the MRE entrees, they're kind of like this. So let's take a look at the package here. Now this can be cooked one of two ways, and we're going to do it the other way from where I planned. I planned to just take this, dip it in water, boil the water, let it heat up. However, I wanted to do it with realistic camping gear, or bug-out bag gear. And quite frankly, it's not going to fit in that pot. You could fit the bottom half. Maybe you could squish it up and all, but to move it around and make sure it's heated equally is going to be difficult. Originally I was going to use a big kitchen pot, but that's not the point. The point is to show you how this works out in the field. So, what we're going to do with it is I'm going to open it up and we're going to stir it around in this, and I have another stove over there. We're not using that guy. That guy was just out because I was testing him, my BRS-12. So that's pretty much it. It's a real simple thing. Nothing too fancy. You can look at the ingredients there if you want to freeze it for a second. Okay. And it's a fairly simple item. I like trying different stuff from around the world. I have some other stuff coming up that are MRE kind of heat and eat type things, like an MRE entree, but they're from India. We'll do those at a later date, but I want to try this guy out because this looks actually good, and I'm going to make this for lunch today. So let me get my stove set up, and we'll go from there. One of the newest, coolest things I found as far as alcohol stoves go are these little Out-D alcohol stoves. A little bit bigger than they look on the pictures on the web. You just push down and you turn these legs out and they snap into place. So we're going to use this today. You set it down like that, you'll pull off the top and fill it up with alcohol. Now this one I found works best with the heat. Some of them work best with alcohol, some of them works best with heat. This one I found kind of works best with heat. I'm not going to use a lot because it's not going to take a lot to heat that up. I'm going to get it started. And I'll bring you back once it's bloomed and we're ready to try it out. Alright, about 35 seconds, that's ready to go. So let's put on the lights here. And cover your eyes, I'm about to blind you. Alright, so I'm just going to use this pot right over here. I had a little water in it to clean it out. And we're going to open this up, see what it looks like. It does tear easily. I know sometimes some of them say they tear easily and they do not. Okay. Dump all this in here. There's actually a lot of food in here. This is where you can use a longer spoon. I should use my MRE spoon for this. it's kind of short. I'm getting it on my hands, but hey, as long as it works. Now with something I do, this is just my own little trick with MRE entrees that I'm heating this way, if I don't have an MRE ration heater. What I'll do is I'll add a little tiny bit of water to this, because it's very thick if you look at it. And the minute you put that on heat, it's going to start sizzling and burning. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. That was a little too much actually, but don't tell anybody. It's just us here. There you go. That way it kind of loosens it up a little bit. So when you're heating it up, it doesn't immediately start burning the bottom. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9, 10 meatballs in there. tasting it cold, it tastes actually pretty good. That's really better than Chef Boyardee, I'll tell you that. That's actually pretty darn good. So, we're going to leave this on here, stir it occasionally, get it nice and piping hot, and bring you back for the taste test. See what it looks like and see what it tastes like after it's been cooked. I see it's already starting to sizzle a little. The water definitely helps. Now, the only problem with an alcohol stove is there's no real way to regulate it unless you have a Trangia with a snuffer kind of thing. So, I'll be doing a lot of stirring and picking it up, so I won't bore you with that, and I'll bring you back when it's fully heated. Alright, looks like it's done. I'll tell you one thing. Boiling it in the bag, they say it's 7 to 9 minutes. This had to be less than 3.5 minutes. And that's still boiling. So, let's put out the stove here. Oh, put this down here. Give you a look at it first. So you can see it's kind of got those shells. So let's give it a try here. Definitely hot. Wow, that is heated up quick. Definitely really good. Mind you, not hot, spicy, hot from that. Using a little bit of liquid and stuff that's very, very thick. Tends to loosen it up a little bit so it heats a little more evenly. If I just heated that up the way it was, it would have just been hot, sticky mess. It also helps clean up the pans too because stuff doesn't stick as bad. So I mean, I use, I don't know, less than a teaspoon of water, tablespoon of water. Not much. Just enough to loosen it up so it's kind of like that. But yeah, the food is incredible. That is really, really tasty. Now, unfortunately, this was the last one they had up there of the meatballs and pasta. I just wanted to taste it because I know how hard is it to screw up meatballs and pasta. You know, it's like, couldn't possibly make that horrible. So I wanted to try it out before I got some more. But I think I'm going to be getting some more of these. Now, what I did was I just took a bunch of random ones and threw them in my store. So if you go to my store, you can check out the different types they have. They have everything from stuff like this to Thai food, Indian food, all sorts of different types of stuff. So I'm going to be trying out some more of these, and I'm probably going to put a few of these in my get-home bag, the ones we take going on trips and stuff. Because, yeah, they're a little bit heavier, but they're pretty darn good. Now, the shelf life on them, like I said, is 3 years. You can probably push 4 to 5 in the right environment, but they say 3 years, so that's what the official word is I'm giving you. And, you know, I forget the price on it, but it wasn't too bad. But remember, it's coming from the UK, so shipping is going to be a little bit more if you don't have Prime. But I would definitely get a couple of these as treats. You know, there's a whole lot to be said for having some comfort food in your preps. And even though you may have racks and racks of Chef Boyardee, you know, canned spaghetti and rows of freeze-dried stuff and everything, having something you really like is really, really cool. Because it kind of, you know, breaks up the monotony of what you have. Spam and rice will feed you and keep you alive. Well, it's questionable on the sodium content on the Spam, but it will keep you alive for a long time. But, you know, you want to break up the monotony. So having a few of these hidden away somewhere, you know, even in a get-home bag or a bug-out bag, really can't hurt. As long as you check them every 3 years. And I check my bags more than that. I check them at least once a season, so really not a problem there. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go eat some lunch. Remember, that is the Wayfayrer meatballs and pasta, and like I said, they are out of this particular one. I don't know if they're getting more in stock of the meatballs and pasta, but they make a ton of other entrees. Anything that says Wayfayrer in my store is one of their entrees, and it's the first bunch. So I'm just going to put my store there, okay? And you can click on it and look at the first like 4 or 5 items that I have there. Don't forget to check out that link as well as the link below that for Thrive Life. Thrive Life is shipping. They are trying to get caught up with stuff that was out. We were out of a lot of stuff. Stuff's coming back into inventory, so don't forget to check them out if you want to get some setup with some really good, really healthy freeze-dried food. And don't forget to check out our Olight link as well underneath that. Underneath there, you can get registered on the Olight site and pick up some flashlights if you're interested. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching today. Stay safe and stay prepared.